Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Noel and I review and unbox subscription boxes here on my channel, and today I have a book box that's been sent to me for review as an ambassador of the Literary Book Club, which is a monthly classics book subscription where you get all kinds of awesome books, titles that you may have read a long time ago or that you've always wanted to get around to reading, as well as some beautiful products, often from small businesses, to accompany and elevate your reading experience. So this book box is currently $64.99 per month plus $9.99 in shipping. I do have an affiliate link and code for you, so the link will be there for you in the description box below, and it is $5 off using the code mauinoel. I'll include that as well, so you don't have to remember it. But this is the beautiful box that looks like a book, and again, all of the contents are inside. I just realized that that one is heavy because I will tell you in just a minute about a little giveaway that we're going to do that is being sort of co-sponsored by the Literary Book Club. I wound up with an extra box from the Literary Book Club. It was actually, I think it was the August box, the Murder on the Links by Agatha Christie box, and so because I got that extra one, I asked Katie what I should do with it, and she said, why don't you, oop, that's not that, that's the, this is the right one, why don't you do a giveaway? And I was really excited. So we're actually going to use King Sumo for the giveaway this time around, so there will be an additional link and directions for you in the description box below this time around. It's going to open as of the posting of this video. You can earn extra entries by following me on Instagram, by following the Literary Book Club on Instagram, and of course by following me here on YouTube if you don't already. And it's going to be open for a week. It will close on November 4th. It is no way affiliated with YouTube. It's just something that Katie and myself wanted to do for all of you. If you missed it, I did an unboxing of the Murder on the Links box, and it was wonderful. And there's some great items inside that I'm sure you will love, especially if you love a good mystery from the Queen of Mystery. So definitely check that out. If you have any questions, let me know. I might be traveling, but I'll do my best to get back to you, and we'll just kind of see how this goes using the King Sumo platform for our giveaway. But let's talk about the box that we have in store for us. Like I said, this is actually the September box, and I do like to read the books that come in the boxes, so I usually don't get to post them until about a month later. So we are right on schedule for that. I am posting, I guess this is just a couple days left in October. This is again the September box. I had pulled all of the shred out so that I could get down to my book. That's how I knew that that was the wrong box. This one still full of the shred, because I know exactly what's in that one. But let me go ahead and start to pull things out. So she does include, this was the title, good old George Orwell, sort of a darker dystopian kind of vibe here, but definitely a thought-provoking one as well. And then there is a card that tells you all of the contents of the box inside, so I'll prop that up for myself. I'm gonna go ahead and pull out the items. Sometimes they're like bagged up and I didn't actually open them just because I like that element of surprise when possible. But most of us, whether or not we have actually read 1984, we are familiar with many of the concepts. We might be familiar with the fact that it was a banned book. Honestly, with this reread, it's been a while. I think I just know a lot of the, like, you know, famous quotes, like, what are some of the famous quotes? There's that image where they're talking about the future, and he says, one of the people that's kind of in charge says, you know, imagine, like, the image is of a boot stamping on a human's face. Like, that is the future. That is your symbol. It is a very striking symbol that's like never left me. So yes, let's see. If you want a vision of the future, imagine a boot stamping on a human's face. Like, that's not very hopeful, is it? I'm so sorry, you guys. It's a different kind of darkness, not the Halloween vibes that you were probably expecting. The other very classic quote from this book is, "War is peace, freedom is slavery, ignorance is strength." And it's very much about language and history. You know, it was banned because it was considered socialist, and then later it was banned because it was or communist, and then it was banned because it had too much sexual content. I think as recently as like the 80s it was banned in Florida. I think the reason it gets banned is you know, that's what the book talks about, is because people get afraid of their own thoughts or the rising proles or the proletariat. And really, whoever controls speech and history does in fact control everything. So what's the other one? Who controls the past controls the future, because they just rewrite history. Like literally, there's people in this book that rewrite history. They get to dictate what actually happened or did not. So even if you have an actual memory of something happening or your country being at war with another country, when they decide to change that, they change history, they wipe it clean. So even though it's in your memory, they tell you that's not true. They say that 2 and 2 equals 5, not 4. So it's this fight between humanity and hoping that humanity will recognize what's going on and rise up. What I found was interesting is that I do think that a lot of the time this book is cited as, look at what's happening to our society. It's just like Big Brother in 1984. And it's interesting because I think, again, you can co-opt it and make it work for whichever argument you want. So it's, again, speaking to that danger of controlling the narrative, essentially. There was actually kind of a love story in there. I have to tell you that even though I know that the whole point is that it wasn't really love, it was just that like human connection, that is really what compelled me the most about the book. You can tell me what your thoughts are inside in the comments below. But for me, that was like the narrative, the little like relationship that happens within that actually kept me reading and sort of not softened, but made all of the other thought-provoking statements and things a little bit more palatable. The final section is all about language and how like erasing words really erases history and leads to control. They're saying freedom basically is the freedom to say that 2 and 2 plus makes 4. But we don't want that freedom because we want to be able to control everyone and tell them and make them truly believe. It's not that they can torture you into saying what they want. You have to really believe it, which is just, it's very interesting. So this is the gorgeous, I've been holding it up. If you want to keep a secret, you must hide it from yourself, right? Because there are these basically cameras watching all the time, these screens watching all the time. They take history, they take what they don't want people to know and remember anymore, and they throw it away. They literally throw it away. But very nice hardback book, not weighty, even though the contents themselves are. But I thought this was a really interesting choice for the literary book club, maybe a little bit darker and heavier and political than some of our other books. I mean, again, it runs the gamut, and that's one of the reasons that I love this subscription, is because it does challenge us to read older language, to read older authors, to read things that we might not otherwise pick up, but there is something to be said about the reason these things are considered classics. All right. Let's talk about the items that came in the box. Now that I've waxed poetic, I'm probably not very clear, but I think I'm still trying to digest it, having read it now, and not just taking the sound bites and not just thinking that it's all about being anti-communist, because it's not necessarily. All right, so this is a nice sticker that she's created. War is peace, freedom is slavery, ignorance is strength. Scary thoughts, right? It is if you say it is. It is if the ruling class says it is. Read banned books. So that was kind of the theme of the whole box, about reading banned books, reading things. There's a reason books get banned, right? Because they challenge someone's way of life or way of thinking. But we have to champion being able to have that freedom to read whatever we want and to be able to be rational, logical human beings who can think and feel as well. Here is a nice book plate that you could put inside of your book. Here is a beautiful bookmark that Katie created. I love the cutout style. Dangerous women read, indeed, and think for themselves. And then, oh, this is cool. So this is like a different style of bookmark that I've seen before. So this is actually a quote. I didn't actually see this from George Orwell, so I'm looking for my glasses, you guys. And of course they're like way over there. Now I will tell you the answer to my question. It is this: the party seeks power entirely for its own sake. We are not interested in the good of others. We are interested solely in power, pure power. What pure power means, you will understand presently. We're different from the oligarchies of the past in that we know what we are doing. All the others, even those who resembled ourselves, were cowards and hypocrites. The German Nazis and the Russian communists came very close to us in their methods, but they never had the courage to recognize their own motives. They pretended, perhaps they even believed, that they had seized power unwillingly and for a limited time, and that just around the corner there lay a paradise where human beings would be free and equal. We are not like that. We know that no one ever seizes power with the intention of relinquishing it. Power is not a means, it is an end. One does not establish a dictatorship in order to safeguard a revolution. One makes the revolution in order to re-establish the dictatorship. The object of persecution is persecution. The object of torture is torture. The object of power is power. Now you begin to understand me. So this is later in the book, not really spoilers, when our main guy, Winston, he thinks that he has sort of joined the revolutionary side, even though it's very quiet and very small. And then he realizes that the person that he felt that connection with, of course, is part of the ruling party. He's definitely not been tricked, because he even realizes that he still feels that attraction to that person as someone that he could speak to and understand, who is at the same time recognizing and admitting to the constructs, right? So he actually has this conversation with him. He actually, like a Bond villain, tells him, like, no, you were right. This is what's happening. And I can tell you because we're now going to squeeze it out of you. We did not pretend to have altruistic intentions and that we're going to seize power and then give it back to the people. We wanted the power, and we are going to squelch any sort of little whispers that could take that back from us. So it's scary. It's a scary thought, but again, very thought-provoking book, very like ahead of its time, and also very salient even today. All right, so that was a cool quote. I'm glad I didn't have to like fumble and find that in the book, but that was definitely a section that struck me as well. So Katie and I were in sync on that one. Let's open up something that's maybe a little bit of a sweeter treat. All right. Okay, so this is like a usual thing for literary book club boxes, is that we usually get some sort of little snack or a drink. And in this case, we got a Copper Cow coffee, a vanilla, it's like a pour over coffee. You just kind of like sit it on the edges of the coffee cup. And then we got this a latte creamer. So it's like, it's going to be so good. A vanilla coffee latte. That sounds awesome. There is this section where they've gotten this sort of black market, capitalist market, coffee and wine and chocolate. And it's all of these luxuries that are no longer available even to the ruling class, because they are playing into it. It's like you almost live a better life if you're one of the proles or the proletariat. All right. Also, another treat. We got some birthday cake from Cornucopia Popcorn, handcrafted in Austin, Texas. I'm not really sure why this necessarily, maybe is it possibly the anniversary of the Literary Book Club, because they don't really do birthdays. He's not even entirely sure that it's 1984 in the book. So there's this weird thing of like time and like what time it is, and not remembering and it not really mattering. And, you know, again, there's three basic entities in the world, and they're always at war with one of the other two. And sometimes that just changes, and then people like Winston, who erase history, have to just rewrite everything. And they even talk about how any book before 1960, for example, can't be rewritten in the new language, which has extracted and taken out a bunch of words, because there's no way you could rewrite passages without those words and have it have a similar meaning, because, you know, certain words are incendiary. So you couldn't have the words like king and queen except in chess, but you would never know that there was a reason for those pieces in chess being called kings and queens. It's interesting. It's so interesting, you guys. Sorry, this is a weird video, but this book is like, it's one of those things that I feel like we might need to come back to every few years and sort of understand what it means to us. All right. Then we've got a banned books tumbler. So we do get a lot of drinkware and book boxes. For me, it's a little bit overkill, but nice long straw for a nice long tumbler. This is kind of a cool one though. It looks like a big like beer or soda can. So it says, I'm with the band. I'm with the band. Get it? I'm with the band, but the banned books. And it's got a bunch of them, including To Kill a Mockingbird, A Wrinkle in Time. How was that ever banned? The Color Purple, Kite Runner. I mean, Harry Potter, Bridge to Terabithia, Mice and Men, Hunger Games, Handmaid's Tale, I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings, The Bluest Eye. Like, these were all books that at some point, you guys, were banned. Like, why, right? Because someone's afraid of someone thinking for themselves. I mean, that's a simplification. Cool book, cool bottle though. I like that idea for sure. So this is one that I might hold on to just because I like the principle of it. Read banned books. Be a woman who thinks. Be a woman who reads. All right, then we have Burn Candles, Not Books. This says get literary. We love that pun still. 25-hour burn time. This is what that looks like. Scent notes for this are bergamot, tonka, and amber. So kind of library vibes. It smells, ooh, definitely smell the tonka and the amber in there. So a good fall scent. Love a candle. You definitely need that hydration and those snacks and all those treats to get through this book. And it's just funny. It's like of human nature that I was mostly into the betrayed relationship and the like love interest, and because that's how we are. That's what we need to like compartmentalize things sometimes. And then finally we have this. A lot of the times Literary Book Club will include another sort of book or journal or recipe book or some other bound something. But in this case, it is the American Library Association Read These Banned Books, a Journal and 52-Week Reading Challenge. That is challenge accepted. Very, very cool. It says books teach people of all ages about the world around them, about empathy, history, other worldviews and opinions, and more. As a result, books impact the societies those readers populate. When a society decides it does not want to change, the first thing to go are the books. The American Library Association speaks out against book banning of all kinds with this one-year reading challenge. Highlighting important titles that have been banned or challenged throughout history, this journal leads readers through thought-provoking works. Curated by ALA, or the American Library Association, this is more than just a recommended book list. This reading challenge includes a write-up and review of each title that highlights its unique features and the reasons for its banning, as well as a book tracker for reading beyond the recommended list. Stand up against book banning by reading and appreciating the very books that have been challenged the most. That is such a cool idea. I freaking love that. Let's see some other ones. The Absolutely True Diary of a Part-Time Indian, The House of Spirits, let's see, 13 Reasons Why. I'm trying to find some that are not on the water bottle. The Perks of Being a Wildflower. I can't believe the Hunger Games, again, because how dare we rise up or be dictated what we want to do. The Kite Runner makes sense. The Things They Carried. Wow, that's such a like classic. How is that banned? Because it puts the Vietnam War in a bad light? I don't know. There's some that I have never heard of, honestly. So I love that in terms of being challenged as well. And then, of course, this, oh, the Glass Castle? Like, really? This is kind of shocking to me. Some of the ones that were in here. It doesn't actually have 1984 in the list of 52, but it might be... Oh, 100 most banned and challenged books from 2010 to 2019. So I don't think 1984 would be in there either, because I think the most recently. But look at this. You can see it gives you a little synopsis, a little bit of background, and then some like note-taking space. So that's kind of cool. Like a lot of note-taking space, you guys. There's like a lot of note-taking space. That's cool. That's really cool. I didn't even know this existed. I should have, though. Most banned books. Captain Underpants. Oh, goodness. A whole series. Let's see. Internet Girls, The Bluest Eye, Bad Kitty. There's quite a few that I've never heard of, but of course, the classic of Huckleberry Finn. Man, The Catcher in the Rye. Things that we think of now as true classics. 1984 is in there. That's crazy, you guys. But let me know. Do you like to read banned books? Can you make a commitment to read one banned book this next year? Maybe it's 1984. I would love to hear in the comments below what your thoughts are. If you want to get a little bit deeper, that works too. Great box from Katie and the team at Literary Book Club. Always is. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to enter using that link so that you can get that Agatha Christie box that I've got my hands on. I'll be sending that out as soon as I get back from my trip. So good luck to all of you, and I'll see you soon in my next unboxing.